Tonight, NBC News goes on assignment.
Did you know whose email that was? Hillary
Diane Rodham Clinton, yes.
Wow.
Cynthia McFadden has the first on-camera network interview with a man who says he hacked Hillary Clinton.
When Hillary Clinton says that her server is absolutely safe, you're laughing. You're saying the Clinton server was unprotected.
He's one of the world's most notorious hackers, now in the middle of the presidential campaign. But who is he, and can he be believed?
Someone who does what he does is a sort of congenital liar.
They're a pathological, well-practiced liar.
Keith Morrison on matters of life and death.
Watch your kids suffering there. Of course, you want to give them a chance.
He was on life support with a devastating brain injury. Recovery seemed impossible. But look,
here I am.
Can others make astonishing recoveries too?
Are we pulling the plug when they could live?
Richard Engel ventures where no TV crew has gone.
This is some of the most dangerous and remote territory on Earth.
In search of a rare creature, the mystery apes of the Congo.
Why was it a mystery? Because we didn't know what the hell it was.
On the journey, machine guns, poison arrows, traps.
This is Wild West. Shoot to kill.
A dangerous search, and then a rescue.
They are very, very adorable.
Those stories and more on assignment. Good evening from the NBC Newsroom in New York. I'm Lester Holt, and welcome to the first edition of our new series, On Assignment. For the next several weeks, our correspondents travel the world to report stories we hope you'll find powerful and provocative. First up tonight, a story that's become part of the presidential campaign. It's prompted months of questions and an FBI investigation. Hillary Clinton's use of private email for official business. The first clue came from an obscure computer hacker halfway around the world. Cynthia McFadden went to Romania to find him.
You hacked your way into the Bush family emails. You hacked your way into Colin Powell's emails. You uncovered that Hillary Clinton was using a private email. Why?
Much more, sure.
And many more.
Yes.
His name is Marcel Lahel Lazar. He's better known as Gucci Fur, and this is his first on-camera network interview.
So an unemployed former taxi driver in a remote part of Romania with a beat-up old computer,
A cheap computer, yeah.
and a cell phone,
Yeah.
is able to hack his way into half of the Washington establishment.
I'm sure a lot of people are doing this right now.
He's an unlikely figure at the center of the Hillary Clinton email controversy, which has dogged her campaign from day one. But just who is this mysterious hacker, and what are his motives? That's what we've been investigating since we found him in Romania, a country considered a breeding ground for cybercrime.
Welcome to Hackerville.
Hackerville, this is sort of the scam capital of the internet, right here.
Yeah, you could say that.
Computer security expert Madeline Dumitru is from Hackerville, officially Romnica Volcha, in the foothills of the Transylvanian Alps. Throughout this poor city, the trappings of wealth are everywhere. That's because internet scammers and hackers flourished here, over the years bilking Americans out of billions of dollars.
This business was quite huge.
Booming.
Booming. Almost everybody was doing that.
How big did it get? Big enough that the FBI set up a permanent office in Romania. Special Agent Paul Vitchak.
So at any given time, how many cyber criminals are you tracking here in Romania?
With the Romanians, we're working cases against hundreds of subjects.
Hundreds?
Hundreds.
The most famous of all, Gucci Fur. We tracked him down to this maximum security prison in Bucharest. Don't be fooled by his casual clothes and the comfortable room where we met him. He's doing 7 years hard time for his hacking crimes here.
So why did you pick Gucci Fur originally?
For the two words, Gucci and Lucifer.
Lucifer the devil.
Yeah. Yes.
He's 44 years old, has a wife, daughter, and a high school education. When he lost his job as a taxi driver, he says he became so bored he began to hack. And that eventually led to his arrest.
I want to talk in private, just for a few seconds.
It's clear he works the angles. Before we began, he asked us for money.
We can't pay for interviews. It's just
sorry.
against NBC rules. It's
Yes,
against network news.
I see.
rules.
In this case, I'm sorry. I'm not going to take the interview.
Okay.
A few minutes later, he dropped his demand.
Okay, we'll do the interview.
Okay.
As we talked, he switched between Romanian and English.
How long were you doing this? A year, year and a half? Maybe?
Da.
Yes, around that.
How many accounts would you say you hacked in that period of time?
No,
I don't know, maybe 100.
Most of them famous.
Da, da.
Yes.
Guccifer started out by hacking Romanian officials, then turned his sights on the American political elite. His motive, he tells us some of his American targets, including Bushes and Clintons, are part of an elite group called the Illuminati that controls the world.
My actions are clear. They are to unmask the Illuminati.
It just sounds crazy, though. It sounds crazy that there's a secret cabal running the world.
It is not that incredible. It's very probable.
To penetrate the Bush's world, he hacked the email of Dorothy Bush Koch, the daughter of one president and the sister of another. And that's how we all discovered George W. Bush was an amateur painter, making public a hobby that, until then, had been private. And there was more.
When you hacked into Dorothy Bush's email account, you found out all kinds of intensely personal things about her father, about his illness, about them even planning for his funeral. Should you have made that stuff public?
The decision to make them public was not mine. I sent them to a certain address, and the people running that site decided they should be made public.
Well, that's copping out, isn't it? Come on.
Guccifer also went after former Secretary of State Colin Powell, breaking into Powell's email and Facebook accounts. He's made racist remarks about Powell, as he did about others he's hacked. As for his hacking ability, computer security expert Madeline Dumitru says what Guccifer did not require advanced technical skills.
So Guccifer wasn't a hacker?
Guccifer is not a hacker, in my opinion. Guccifer was a guesser.
A diligent guesser.
Yeah, searching on the internet, find as more information as possible, put them all together, and try to make a list with potential passwords.
He did pretty well.
He did pretty well, but he's not a hacker.
Whatever you call him, it was in 2013 that he scored his biggest hit. He got into the email of Clinton confidant Sidney Blumenthal and noted a particular email address.
And when you saw HDR22, did you know whose email that was?
At that very moment, I thought it could be Hillary Diane Rodham Clinton, yes.
Because it's Hillary Diane Rodham
Clinton, yes. Yes.
And you said to yourself,
yes, a whole moment or something like that, yes.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Guccifer copied private emails from Blumenthal to Clinton, some referring to the attack on the U.S. consulate in Benghazi. In one, Blumenthal wrote, "The following information comes from extremely sensitive sources and should be handled with care." Guccifer put a G on the documents and passed them to the Smoking Gun website and the Russian news site RT, which posted them.
Were you ever working for a foreign government?
No.
You weren't working for the Russians, the Iranians, any foreign government?
No.
This was all done on your own?
No.
Yes.
There are a lot of people who feel that you did what you did in order to get famous, to be a star.
No.
That's misinformation.
For 2 years, his discovery that Clinton used the private email address went largely unnoticed. But in 2015, the New York Times revealed it was the only address she used for official business as Secretary of State. Then came the news Clinton had her own private email server in her home.
It had numerous safeguards. It was on property guarded by the Secret Service, and there were no security breaches.
Critics and political opponents charged that national security was compromised. The FBI launched an investigation.
When Hillary Clinton says that her server is absolutely safe, you're laughing.
That's a lie.
That's a lie. Yes?
Yes.
It's not safe.
It's not safe at all.
In our interview, for the first time, Guccifer claimed he got into the Clinton server.
By running a scan, I found that server was completely unsecured.
I want to make sure I'm understanding what you're saying.
Yes.
You're saying the Clinton server was unprotected.
No.
Yes.
And you had total access to it had you wanted to download it.
Yes, it was like an open orchid on the internet, as many such servers are.
What did you find when you got inside the server?
There were hundreds of folders with boring stuff, political boring stuff from Texas, from everywhere. It was not what I was looking for. There were emails from Huma Abedin, from
Huma Abedin?
Yes.
Did you download all those?
A part of it, a little part, because it was boring.
So you actually saw Hillary Clinton's emails themselves, not just
On
the
the server, yes,
not
on the
just
server.
the Sidney Blumenthal material, but you
Yes.
actually went right inside the Clinton site and saw everything.
That's absolutely right, yeah. That's absolutely right.
But did he really get into the Clinton server? There were plenty of reasons to doubt him. We asked him to show us some of the documents he claimed he downloaded. He showed us nothing. And unlike in many previous hacks, he posted no proof online.
It's getting the IP address.
Nonetheless, we talked to a number of the nation's top cybercrime experts who say Guccifer's allegations should be taken seriously. Among them, former FBI Special Agent Chris Tarbell.
It certainly is credible based on what he says that he has done.
Tarbell ran one of the FBI's biggest cybercrime investigations ever, cracking the legendary case of the online black market called the Silk Road. He's now with the Berkeley Research Group. Based on what he told us, and we've given you a chance to review what he told us, is it credible to you that he could have, in fact, hacked the server?
It's plausible because he did get access to emails that allegedly came from that server. Each email has a header, and that tells you the information and the path of where that email came from.
So, based on what we know about him and the credibility of his past attacks, what do you make of this?
He had the potential to do very dangerous things with a computer that he wasn't allowed to be on. Entering a computer you're not allowed to enter is hacking.
And a crime.
Felony in the United States, yes.
So whether he knows it or not, he's just admitted to committing a felony.
Yes, he's admitting that he committed a felony.
And if he's lying...
That seems silly to me. To go on television and admit to a felony you didn't commit seems a little silly.
Welcome, Madam Secretary.
As for Secretary Clinton, just this week she continued to maintain her server was secure in an interview on MSNBC with Andrea Mitchell.
Have you been contacted, or your representatives been contacted by the FBI to set up an interview?
No.
No contacts there?
No.
Any indication that your private server was hacked by foreign hackers?
No, not at all.
We asked the Clinton campaign for a comment about Guccifer's allegations regarding the server. They blasted his credibility. There is absolutely no basis to believe the claims made by this criminal from his prison cell. We have received no indication from any government agency to support these claims. In fact, the FBI's review of the Clinton server logs showed no signs of hacking, according to a source familiar with the case. But Chris Tarbell says server logs are not necessarily comprehensive. So is it absolutely clear that if the server were breached, there would be a log of it somewhere?
No.
So it may be that there is no breach that was recorded. That doesn't mean there was no breach.
Correct.
But a caution. Tarbell also says the very nature of Guccifer's handiwork as a criminal hacker makes his word suspect. So someone who does what he does is a sort of congenital liar.
They're a pathological, well-practiced liar.
As for the FBI, no one saying anything on the record.
I just interviewed Guccifer this morning.
I can't comment on Guccifer.
He's being extradited to the U.S., I know, in the weeks and months to come.
I can't comment, sorry.
Shortly after our visit, Marcel Lahel Lazar was indeed extradited to the U.S. He's now in jail in Virginia awaiting trial for hacking Sidney Blumenthal, Colin Powell, and others. He's pleaded not guilty. One thing is clear. We're not the only ones interested in talking to Guccifer. Sources close to the investigation confirm FBI agents escorted him from Romania to the United States and say they fully intend to question him about the Clinton server now that he's in U.S. custody. Many officials emphasize to us investigators have seen nothing so far that substantiates his claim. But the investigation continues.
Was it your intention to try to affect the presidential campaign?
No. No, at that time, I wasn't even thinking about the campaign of 2016. But that's where things are heading.
Coming up.
Of course, you want to give him a chance.
His devastating brain injury left his family with a difficult choice.
They said it's probably time to let him go.
Then he made an astounding recovery. Can others too?
Do you worry that you give people false hope?
I worry more about taking all the hope away.
Life and death information that could affect your family. It is a wrenching ordeal for a family deciding whether to take someone off of life support. When it comes to patients with severe brain injuries, there is new information challenging conventional thinking about when families should make that life or death decision. Keith Morrison is in Boston.
Are we giving up on people, pulling the plug on them when they could live?
I think in some cases we may be making premature judgments about whether aggressive care should be continued or not.
We've come to Spaulding Rehabilitation Hospital in Boston to meet with neuropsychologist Dr. Joe Giacino. He's researched the human brain for more than 20 years and pioneered new ways of diagnosing and understanding even the most severe brain injuries. And here's something he wants us to know. For patients with traumatic brain injuries, we might be stopping life support too soon.
We have now these longer-term outcome studies that have followed these individuals who were given life-sustaining treatment, and now we take a look at them 5 years later and find, lo and behold, they're back to functioning independently. In most cases, they're not living the life they lived before.
They're living a life that's okay with them.
Okay with them, okay with their family. So it does raise the question of, can we make the right decision in the first 10, 14 days of the recovery trajectory?
It's within those first crucial days after a severe traumatic brain injury that families are sometimes given a choice. If doctors believe the prognosis looks poor, do they want to keep their loved one on life support or let him or her die peacefully? But Dr. Giacino believes that may be much too soon. He wants the medical community to pause, give patients more time to see if their brains can heal before making those hard decisions. Patients like Patrick Mahoney.
Out here in the West Coast, Pacific.
Patrick was 26, studying poetry at the University of New Hampshire, which was a perfect fit for him, says his sister, Noreen.
He was always a good student growing up, but he always had an interest in writing.
Patrick was equally passionate about his girlfriend, Anne.
He introduced me to lots of new music, lots of new literature. It just was really very fast, fell very fast for him.
And then came October 27th, 2010. Patrick had been cycling home late at night. The car hit him from behind.
Picture your body flying in the air, 90 feet and landing completely on your head.
A week later, doctors met the family and told them they'd have to make a terrible decision.
They said, it's not in your favor to keep him going because looking at the facts that we have, it's probably time to let him go, and it's going to get harder the longer you wait.
How soon was this decision necessary?
They said over the weekend.
I remember we would go around the table and, what do you think? What do you think? And, everyone was very honest. I don't think he would want to live this way, or I don't think I can let him go.
Patrick's sister, Noreen, the grim prognosis still echoing in her head, had already traveled home to begin funeral arrangements when their mother called.
And she said, we're going to give him a shot. We're going to keep him going.
How did that feel?
Are they in denial? I know I'm a mom myself now of 2 kids. To watch your kids suffering there, of course you want to give them a chance, okay? But were they thinking about the future, I was very afraid. I was afraid for them because they were going against the medical advice.
In the days that followed, the family noticed what they hoped were small signs of improvement, a squeeze of his hand, a small wink. Those first movements can be subtle but crucial because they can signal that a patient is getting better, and this is important. They may take weeks to appear.
We're talking about simple things like purposeful movements. Something's fallen over my eye and I reach up and push it away. That's a very complex response. Often that behavior does not emerge until 3 or even 4 weeks after the injury.
ESPN?
Monday Night Football, Pat?
ESPN? Thumbs up, ESPN?
Still, Patrick was unable to communicate until someone got an idea.
You know, he's a writer. Give him a pen. Give him a pen and paper. And he writes, "Dear Anne," with a heart.
I was ecstatic, and then I was weeping. I mean, I was so relieved.
But recovery?
There you go, that's better. Heart.
That would take months and months of intensive therapy. And every human act he had to learn all over again. Which he did. Patrick is now a mental health counselor. He still deals with the effects of his injury. He has post-traumatic epilepsy and recently finished speech therapy.
I've learned to maintain a sense of optimism and positivity.
What do you think when you are presented with that pretty stark fact that a couple of days or a week or so after your accident, your family were faced with this monumental decision? Do we try to keep him alive or do we say goodbye? And they could have done either one. And with equal love for you.
Yeah. Yeah, that's very difficult to hear. And like, you know, in my own head, I was just in there thinking like, hey, like I'm going to get better. So I hope you guys, you know, meet me over there.
So this is Patrick's scan from about 5 days after his initial injury.
Dr. Giacino consulted on Patrick's case after that initial decision.
In his case, the family was told they'd have to make a very serious decision here, and
yeah, because
it's reasonable when you look at the picture there.
Not unreasonable at all. This was a very big injury.
What's it like for you to see the way he is now?
It's invigorating. It's absolutely invigorating, and it's also humbling, because I can't stand there and tell you that this individual was going to go on to make that recovery.
Which is exactly why he wants the medical community to wait to see if there are more Patricks out there. Just how many can recover?
Maybe as many as 1 in 5, and that's big news.
Do you worry that you give people false hope with this sort of talk?
I worry more about taking all the hope away than I do about giving false hope. I think hopelessness is much more difficult to deal with.
To be clear, we're talking about people who suffered an accident and not someone whose brain was deprived of oxygen, say from a heart attack.
I think at this point, the research is still early, and I think we still need to be realistic.
Dr. Robert Trug works in the ICU at Boston Children's Hospital. He's also the director of the Center for Bioethics at Harvard Medical School. He calls Dr. Giacino's work exciting, but not definitive enough to overhaul the whole system.
Waiting has many consequences for the patient, the family, and society.
Negative consequences?
Potentially negative consequences.
Why?
Let's start with the family. Those are the ones who are often the most impacted.
Have you seen patients in situations where a decision to hang on was made and later regretted?
Oh, for sure. I've seen families where I have felt brokenhearted that they have gone down a pathway that you can see is not going to end well. And you can see the toll it takes on marriages, on family finances, and it's a huge commitment for a family.
And he cautions about overwhelming an already taxed healthcare system.
We really don't have the rehabilitative resources, the hospital beds, to care for all of the patients that would now come into that system.
Do you believe the medical infrastructure can afford to wait and wait just to see if they're that 1 in 5 who might make it?
That's the challenge. We have a big disconnect right now between the way the brain recovers and the way we deliver health services. They don't match.
Recovery takes time. Will Emery's care has consumed his mother, Tracy McCarty, for the past 6 years, ever since he was injured in a car accident at 19. Tracy never considered letting him go.
The ICU nurse came to me and said, "You have to think about, would Will want to live like this?" I took it that I should start considering if I was going to have to remove life support. And I told her to just step away. It wasn't an option, that we were going to go for it.
Will was mostly unresponsive for almost a year. He finally came around and began a long and grueling recovery.
What do you think?
That's pretty good.
Will is great. Is he 100%? No. He is still in therapy. and he makes gains every single day.
Will's days now include round-the-clock nursing care, daily medication, numerous therapies, all hugely expensive, of course, and all performed under Tracy's constant vigilance.
I have no regrets.
I don't have any.
I've done the best I could, and I've done it by myself, and I still have my son, and he's in pretty good shape.
And just look at how Patrick is doing. He and Anne are married now, expecting a baby in June. The former poetry student has also just published his own book of poems, using the acronym for traumatic brain injury, TBI.
I smell the coffee ground.
The title is Toward Being Infinite.
The end of the road goes well beyond sight.
So I turn on tips of toes and I'm breathing deeply the air, tasting of oak moss, my eyes still closed. What does that mean?
A lot of my senses were withdrawn. So just little things like
The air, tasting
the air,
oak
the
moss.
taste, the smell, the feel of the dirt road is amazing.
And life, once all but lost, is very sweet indeed.
Coming up, it's one of the most dangerous places on the planet, and not just for man.
He can't go back into the wild. No, it wouldn't work. He would die.
These adorable creatures are in jeopardy too. Can they be saved? Politics or preschool? It's campaign season, and this year the presidential candidates have been criticized by many for some less than grown-up behavior. Tonight you'll hear from our pundits, kids.
Oh, Donald. We call him Donald.
He is like a little baby.
He has a bad hairdo. Hillary. She was upset when he was talking.
The issues that divide us.
No arguing. Because it might hurt somebody's feelings.
That's ahead on the kids' table. But coming up next, a dangerous search for an endangered creature.
It's a game of patience. It really is.
Richard Engel goes where few dare on a mission to find the mystery apes of the Congo. The Congo. It's one of the most perilous countries in Africa, torn apart by poverty and civil war. Armed rebels still terrorize the region. Tonight, we travel deep into the Congo to focus on another struggle for survival. A rare, endangered, and until recently unknown population of apes, almost impossible to see. Richard Engel sets out for the Billy Forest to find them.
It's not often you travel to a war zone to find a sanctuary, but that's exactly what we're doing. We're heading to a patch of tropical forest here in the Congo that few dare to visit. This is one of the most dangerous and remote places on Earth, but this forest is also home to some of our closest relatives. They call them the mystery apes of Billy. It's taken us a long time to get here and to bring them to you.
A motorcycle can only take you so far in this remote corner of eastern Congo. Pretty soon, it was time to start hiking into the 12,000 square mile forest. We were following the world's leading expert on the Billy apes, American primatologist Cleve Hicks.
You have to be really patient because sometimes they'll just suddenly pant and they're like right above you and you're like, whoa.
He explained, whispering, that even though we could hear apes nearby, finding them won't be easy.
Maybe the idea now is if we don't hear anything in the next few minutes, we go and explore with the ground nest.
It's a game of patience.
It really is, it really is.
And endurance.
And figuring them out, figuring out their patterns.
When he wasn't whispering, Hicks was tapping on trees, the way apes do.
So the chimps do this?
Yes, they do. And we might even be lucky enough to hear it today.
And why do they pound on this?
They resonate. They're like natural drums. It's called tree drumming. Gorillas drum on their chest, and chimpanzees drum on the trees.
To communicate?
Yes, exactly.
Hicks first came here over a decade ago, drawn by rumors of giant apes who were said to howl at the moon and hunt lions. No scientist had ever managed to spend enough time with these apes to figure out what species they belonged to.
So you heard about these mystery apes, and you wanted to find out for yourself?
Yeah, I had to come and see them.
Why was it a mystery?
Because we didn't know what the hell it was.
The mystery goes back a century to when the Congo was the Belgian colony, which served as the brutal backdrop to Joseph Conrad's Heart of Darkness. The colonizers brought skulls back home to Belgium, where experts thought they had discovered a new third species of gorilla.
And so this could have been a sort of missing link connecting the two, the eastern and the western species. That sounded fascinating.
The fascination with the mystery apes was rekindled after a Swiss photographer arrived in Billy in 1996.
Carl Lamont was bringing out pictures and reports of ground nests, sleeping on the ground. That's normally a gorilla kind of behavior. There was some speculation that maybe this was a hybrid between chimpanzees and gorillas, a new species of great ape, or something else.
Scientists, including Hicks, intrigued by what they heard, began coming to Billy. They installed motion-detecting cameras deep in the forest, and finally, they were able to capture clear images of the apes, which looked like large chimps, but behaved a little like gorillas. DNA samples proved that they were chimpanzees after all. It's just that the chimps of Billy Forest behave a little differently.
They have a different diet, different culture. In fact, here's a great example right here. This is a Cubotermes mound.
That's a termite nest?
Yes, exactly. Termites build these structures. They're all over the forest here. The Bili chimpanzees, with one exception, are the only population of chimpanzees to eat this.
But it's not just their cultural uniqueness that makes these animals important to Hicks. He claims they are probably part of the largest population of wild chimps left on the planet. His discovery got a lot of attention around the world. Today, these chimpanzees and the other animals of this virgin wilderness are endangered. So about a year ago, Congolese park rangers started patrolling Billy Forest for the first time ever. While Hicks was looking for chimps, the park rangers were hunting for hunters. And there were signs of poaching everywhere. They found and disabled dozens of snares, traps made of wire or vines designed to catch wildlife.
So if an animal steps in it, you grab the leg?
Chimps often lose fingers and sometimes hands to snares like these. Given what we were seeing, it's hard to believe that this is a conservation area where hunting and fishing are against the law. But there's a reason poachers hunt with impunity. The Billy Forest is effectively lawless. This operation represents the first conservation effort in this part of the forest. The rangers are here because of this man, Jeff Dupain, from the African Wildlife Foundation, which helps train, equip, and pay them. Their effort paid off immediately. The rangers discovered a poacher's camp up ahead.
Do you think it's going to be hostile, or do you think...
Normally not, but one never knows.
A couple of scouts determined that the camp had been abandoned. It appears the poachers took off in a hurry.
There's nobody.
Nobody here?
Nobody here.
But it looks like there was people recently.
Yeah, you see, the cooking happened here.
Yeah, they
the
were here
fire
recently.
was here recently.
Evidence of illegal hunting is all around, including shotgun shells and racks for smoking poached meat.
And then I found over here by this fire pit over here some monkey bones.
So they were hunting monkeys as well?
Clearly, yes.
The rangers also found this item that their commander explained as part of a deadly weapon.
So they were making a crossbow out of this,
That's
not
a
a
crossbow.
gun. A crossbow. These arrows, they're black on the tip. Does that mean they're poisonous?
Yeah, poisonous. Don't touch.
So are you going to destroy this camp now?
On va détruire ici. This cannot be here. This has to disappear.
So this has to be destroyed?
Oui.
To stop the poaching?
Oui.
Armed poachers are one thing, but at any moment these rangers could be facing even more dangerous enemies. Billy Forest is located in a corner of the Democratic Republic of the Congo that has seen decades of war, which has often spilled over to the other failed states of Central Africa. One of the most notorious remnants of that endless war is the Lord's Resistance Army, better known as the LRA. The group and its leader, the war criminal Joseph Kony, are now on the run. Some of the group's fighters are now hiding out in the forest, where they live as outlaws.
They can poach the wildlife and they can kidnap
civilians, which is a classic LRA-MO.
Which is why the Wildlife Foundation hired Nir Carlon to train the rangers to fight. The former Israeli commando is teaching them everything from how to safely detain poachers to surviving a firefight and setting an ambush.
These guys will shoot back.
So they have to train for a fight to the death?
Yeah.
This is not just wildlife protection?
No. This is Wild West. Shoot to kill.
They're park rangers, but they're also counterterrorism forces.
National security, I would say.
Carlon's company, Maisha Consulting, is made up of highly trained graduates of Israel's Special Forces community. So far, they've trained about 20 rangers.
Is that enough?
No, it's not enough at all, but you need to start from something.
The next day, the rangers discovered another camp where they detained 2 young men. We saw how surprised these poachers were to see the law being enforced for the very first time.
What were the 2 of you doing here in the forest?
Bino mi bali asaranini awa nazamba. Kopesh, he says he's fishing.
But they were fishing by poisoning the river. And the rangers found a large caliber rifle, cartridges, and snares in their camp.
So they're in deep trouble now.
He's taking them with him. He can't leave them here.
Hicks knew that to find any chimps, he'd have to get away from the poaching camps and hunting trails. So he and his team hiked for another 14 days and covered more than 100 miles. They reached a part of the forest few humans have ever visited. And there, at last, they caught a few glimpses of the Billy Forest chimps, like this young female, who clearly didn't like the attention. Hicks thinks she's never seen a human before, and for now, among her own kind, she's safe from people. But when we went outside the forest into the nearby town of Billy, we would discover there was a thriving market for the local animals. And we would come across another Billy ape, this one in need of rescue. That's next. We have one more thing we wanted to show you from our trip to the Congo. We'd been in the depths of the Billy Forest with Cleve Hicks, a leading American primatologist who spent more time there than any other scientist, and with conservation rangers who were trying to protect the region's endangered chimpanzees. But when we visited the town of Billy, we realized that protecting the chimps will require more than hunting down poachers. It's going to mean changing how people here live. The forest has always been a source of food.
I think there's another monkey over there.
Monkey meat is sold openly in the market.
Eating primates like this puts all humanity at danger.
This is how these horrible pandemics can come
This
around,
is
right?
where they emerge
Transfer from primate to human?
Chimp meat is illegal, so it's traded in less public places. We saw another grave threat to Billy's chimps when we followed Chief Ranger Bernard Iyomi as he pursued a tip. He'd been told that an army officer had a baby chimp and a baboon tied to a post. The information turned out to be correct. The officer was keeping the animals as pets. Baby chimps often end up in the pet trade. That's illegal because they are endangered. The officer planned to make a gift of the chimp.
He wants to give it to his chief as a present.
Yeah, like a present.
The chimp, whose name is Cobra, was saved, but now the rangers had to figure out what to do with him. Cobra was incredibly comfortable around us humans. Baby chimps often are. But he is probably the sole survivor of the massacre of his entire family. And he will never be able to go back into the forest. Hicks volunteered to find a new home for the little orphan.
Amazing, the soul-searching look, huh?
They are very, very adorable. But the question is, why is it difficult to reintroduce this chimp and other chimps to the wild?
It would probably be killed by the chimps in the group. Chimps are very xenophobic. If they see a chimp from another group, they're probably going to kill it.
So realistically, he can't go back into the wild?
No, it wouldn't work. He would die. We need to take him to a sanctuary.
long-term prison care.
Exactly. That's unfortunately the best we can offer. Thanks.
Hicks carefully crated Cobra up for a flight to his new life in a sanctuary.
Ooh, yeah, you're gonna go see some more chimpanzees.
Cobra could live 20 years in zoo-like captivity. In this wildlife sanctuary, he will have plenty of food and the company of other chimpanzees. But it's a far cry from his old life.
Which brings us back here to Billy Forest, one of the last places on Earth where chimps can still be chimps. This forest has protected them for millennia, but it can't do that anymore. Now, it's up to us.
It's just a precious treasure of the world to have this untouched population of chimps out there, and it's our responsibility to find some way to protect them.
Because we can't afford to let our closest animal relatives be pushed out of the forest that we once shared.
Coming up.
Oh, Donald. We call him Donald. He has a bad hairdo.
Political experts, wise beyond their years.
Hillary. I saw a picture of her fighting.
What advice do they have for the candidates?
You would say stop it.
The Kids Table. Mom always said, mind your manners. A good rule for everyone this Mother's Day, especially the candidates for president who've been criticized by some as being downright childish. Tonight we put that to our experts at the Kids Table.
If I was in the race, I would cheat to win the race. You know, cheating is not good.
He is like a little baby, soft, weak.
You know, Donald's incessant whining and crying.
Kasich, who eats like a slob.
Oh, Donald. We call him Donald. Well, he has a bad hairdo. Hillary. I saw a picture of these guys and her fighting on the news.
You know, wait a minute. That's just not accurate.
She was upset when he was talking.
Let's talk about the issues that divide us.
You would say stop it. Tell them, please, can you try to get together? Like, we could figure this out. You just don't do it back. Can you please tell me the problem? And I would, like, do my best to fix it.
Where were you? I mean, really?
She's wrong.
First of all, this guy's a joke artist, and this guy's a liar.
No arguing. Because it might hurt somebody's feelings. I think it's kind of bad. I do it at home, though. If somebody bites you, you say sorry, and you give them a hug. Be happy. And also be nice. I think my mom would be good for president. My dad. Us. Actually, my mom. Because she knows how to deal with people.
Oh my goodness, can we vote for them? That's On Assignment tonight. We'll be seeing you Sundays at 7, 6 Central for the next several weeks. Here's what we're working on for next week. We journey to a paradise so pristine, TV cameras have never been. Can the secret scientists find here help heal the Earth?
I wanted to help save a part of this planet.
A tropical land that time forgot. Harry Smith dives right in.
It's amazing down there.
Next week, On Assignment. I'll see you again tonight at 10, 9 Central for an all-new Dateline. I'm Lester Holt. Thanks for joining us.